Is the peace deal officially dead before it even started? Imagine the scenario. Just days after the world breathed a sigh of relief, hoping for a ceasefire, Russia claims a massive swarm of 91 drones was sent to assassinate Vladimir Putin at his secret residence. Moscow is furious, claiming this changes everything. But Ukraine says this is a complete lie, a Hollywood-style fabrication designed to justify a catastrophic attack on Kyiv. Today, we decode what is actually happening, because the timing of this event is far more dangerous than the event itself. Hello, and welcome to International Affairs. Let's get straight into the analysis. To understand the gravity of the situation, we first need to look at the raw data coming out of Moscow as of today, December 30th. The Russian Foreign Ministry has issued an extremely aggressive statement. Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, has officially claimed that the Ukrainian military launched a massive coordinated attack using 91 fixed-wing drones targeting the Novgorod region. Now, why does the Novgorod region matter? Because this is the location of the Valdai residence, one of Vladimir Putin's most protected and private retreats. According to the Kremlin, this was not just a military strike on infrastructure, this was an attempt on the life of the Russian president. Russian air defense systems reportedly intercepted all 91 drones, but the political fallout has already begun. Lavrov stated explicitly today that this attempted attack forces Russia to reconsider the entire premise of the peace negotiations. This is the first critical point of our analysis. Just last week, after the meeting in Florida between President Donald Trump and President Zelenskyy, the global narrative was shifting towards a ceasefire. There was hope. Markets were reacting positively, and suddenly we have a claim of an assassination attempt. In geopolitics, we always ask, cui bono? Who benefits? If you look at this from the Russian perspective, the narrative is being built that Ukraine is a terrorist state that cannot be negotiated with. By claiming that Ukraine tried to kill Putin while peace talks were being discussed, Russia is effectively telling the United States and the Trump administration, look, we wanted peace, but these people are trying to kill our leader. How can we sign a deal? This gives Russia a legitimate diplomatic exit from a peace deal that perhaps they were never fully comfortable with. Now let's flip the coin and look at the Ukrainian response, which came in just a few hours ago. President Zelenskyy has categorically denied these allegations. He didn't just deny them, he called the Russian claim a complete fabrication. His exact words were that this is a pretext. What does he mean by pretext? In military strategy, a pretext, or a false flag, is when you accuse your enemy of a crime they didn't commit to justify a punishment that you were already planning to deliver. Zelenskyy warned the international community today that Russia is spreading this lie about the 91 drones specifically to justify a massive missile strike on the decision-making centers in Kyiv. We need to pause here and analyze what decision-making centers means. In the past, Russia has mostly targeted energy grids and military depots, but decision-making centers refers to the presidential palace, the parliament, Verkhovna Rada, and the headquarters of the SBU, Security Service of Ukraine. If Russia uses this assassination attempt as justification to level government buildings in the heart of Kyiv, we are no longer looking at a war for territory, we're looking at a war of regime decapitation. This would signal the end of any diplomacy. Let's move to the deeper geopolitical layer, the Trump factor. Why is this happening now? Why December 29th and 30th? We know that Donald Trump has made ending the Ukraine war a central pillar of his foreign policy. He wants a deal, and he wants it fast. The meeting in Florida was supposed to be the breakthrough. However, history tells us that just before a peace deal is signed, violence often spikes to its highest level. This is called escalate to de-escalate. If Ukraine actually sent those drones, and remember, Ukraine has deep strike capabilities now, it could be a message to Putin, we are negotiating from a position of strength, we can reach you anywhere. It's a high-risk gamble to show the US that Ukraine is still a capable fighter. On the other hand, if Russia fabricated this entirely, as Zelenskyy claims, it suggests that Putin is trying to buy time. Perhaps the terms Trump proposed were not good enough for Russia. By inventing an attack on his own home, Putin creates a domestic rallying cry. He can tell the Russian public, the West and Ukraine want to destroy us, so we must fight harder, thereby delaying the peace deal without directly saying no to Donald Trump. It is a very clever, albeit dangerous, diplomatic maneuver. We also have to look at the technical aspect of the claim. 91 drones is a massive number. To coordinate a swarm of that size over hundreds of kilometers into one of the most heavily defended airspaces in the world, the Novgorod region, requires significant intelligence and logistics. If Ukraine did this, it exposes a gap in Russian air defense, even if they were shot down. It means the drones got close. If they didn't do it, then Russia is orchestrating a media campaign on a massive scale. Let's look at the map for a second in our minds. The Valdai residence is not on the border. It is deep inside Russia, northwest of Moscow. For drones to reach there, they have to bypass multiple layers of radar and anti-aircraft batteries. The psychological impact of sirens going off near Putin's home is immense. Whether real or fake, the narrative has now been planted in the minds of the Russian elite. You are not safe. Furthermore, we must analyze the reaction of the global community. So far, Washington has been cautious. There is silence from the White House regarding the verification of this attack. This silence is loud. Usually, if U.S. intelligence sees 91 drones, they know about it. If they confirm it, it angers Putin. If they deny it, it angers Putin. The U.S. is currently walking a tightrope. So where does this leave us today? We're standing at a very fragile intersection. On one side, we have a peace framework that was just beginning to take shape in Florida. On the other side, we have a potential trigger for total war. If Russia decides to retaliate for this alleged attack, the next 48 hours could see missile strikes on Kyiv that are unprecedented in this conflict. If missiles hit the Ukrainian presidential office in response to this drone attack, Article 5 won't be triggered, but the emotional response from Europe and the US might force Trump to abandon the peace deal and double down on military aid. This is exactly what the hawks on both sides might want, sabotaging the peace deal by making the cost of fighting lower than the cost of talking. In conclusion, you have to look beyond the headlines. This isn't just about drones flying over a house. This is a battle for the narrative. Russia is saying they tried to kill our president. Peace is impossible. Ukraine is saying they're lying to destroy our government. The truth likely lies in the satellite data that only the superpowers have. But for the common citizen and for the global economy, the risk factor just went through the roof. We will keep tracking the Russian response. Will there be a retaliatory strike tonight, or will diplomacy prevail through back channels? That remains the biggest question of 2025. Stay tuned and keep observing the map, because in international affairs, geography and timing never lie.